Hi, it is day 62 of 365 days of realizations. Trina Wright here. And I am so excited. I'm so blissed out. I want to talk today about stepping full on into our greatness, stepping in fully to understanding our creatorship, to knowing that we create our own reality. And not only that, to like the unlimited epicness that represents, to like stand in this place of doubtlessness, this place of like, the time is now, I'm going to do this thing. And I know that when I line up myself with that clarity, with that knowing, with that feeling, not just of like trusting in the universe, because that's part of it, but like I literally create my life. I create everything into being, because the universe is inside of me. It's a projection of everything that I am, in essence, putting out, that is being reflected back. And so today I stand in this epic position. It's a big deal. I am fully stepping into being a spiritual teacher, which I am going to say loudly and clearly that I am going to teach, or I am teaching, because I've been doing, this is day 62, so I've done not quite 62, but something like 50, let's say 56 videos, 57 videos since January 1st, because I am moving that energy and stepping into this role of sharing from my own example, from the clarity and unclarity, thank you, Rebecca, of my example. And in that, it's been so epic and cool. I mean, having spent the last 1.5 to 2 years fully in self-realization and really being in empowerment before that, it feels like it's all coming together. Like now is the time to blend this enlightenment, empowerment living. That's what I'm doing. And so today, my big news is that I stepped into a program that is in such resonance with me. You know, I've been kind of reaching and incrementally putting money out into creating this business, moving in that direction of like owning it and owning that I am the creator of everything, and stepping into these videos and learning more about YouTube and beginning to design a course. And then the next one, the next step, the next like fuller, deeper embodiment of this truth for me found me. And I found this like epic being that is exactly what it is that I want. What I was looking for is someone that can help me hold that doubtlessness so that this business can flow in ease. Yes, with efforting, no doubt, because there is inspired action. It doesn't have to feel like efforting, but there is, you know, literally, when you want to move something in the physical world, there is an essence of you that has to move it as your physical counterpart, your physical character. But when you line that up energetically, when you get into the flow of yourself, well, then it's just easy. So that's the first part I want to share. And what it was so funny is just being able to tune into this, like being able to know that this was the right decision, because we live in such an epic time. It's such an epic historical time where we just have access to so much information, to so many things to assist us, to help us, to so many avenues, not only for like something like building a business or getting educated, but even like getting self-knowledge. We have so much access to that. And it is such a delicious time to celebrate all of that. All of us have created this. But then how to figure out what is the right thing for me? Like, how do I step into that and know what is calling me, and what is calling me from like my interior space, my soul space, not my like inner being is calling me to it, not from sort of Trina, not from her desire to feel more worthy, or her desire to prove herself, or her desire, like all the stuff that she's collected, that she is constantly then trying to navigate herself around so that she can just in any moment feel good. I don't want to live like that. Like, I'm done with that. I want to live as the epic light love being that I am and flow that fully out. And I want to stand like so firmly that I am an example of that. I have had so many things in this particular physical incarnation where I could have played small, where I could have just decided to like huddle up and seek comfort and then take it as like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen next and how am I going to manage this? And instead I was like, no, hell no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take every single thing that I created deliberately, reactively, by default, any which way, and I am going to own it. And I'm going to use it to make my expansion more delicious, more expansive, like literally to just do that so full on. And to know that that's like part of the puzzle. It's like, be so enlightened that your desires are coming from your soul. Your desires are coming not because you need to prove something to yourself, not because you think any of those things outside of you are going to make you happy, because they know that you know that they can't, but that you just want to play in the deliciousness of your own creatorship. You want to see the reflection of your fullness back to you. You want to know, like, no, not intellectually, not philosophically. Yes, I create my reality. Yes, I'm unlimited. Yes, I'm doubtless. Yes, I can be, do, or have anything. No, you want to actually see that in the see it, smell it, taste it, touch it, viscerally experience, hear it in illusion that we have going on here. And so that's what I got going on. And it has been like incrementally stepping into this and letting go of so much, like just letting go of every single thought that arises that says, who do you think you are? And why should you do this? And what makes you special? And what makes you know better than anyone else? And you know what? I just do. I know it, because I have put my feet firmly on the spiritual path since younger than I can even remember. It has been a calling within me. And while I was raising my kids and use that as the backdrop of my life happened. Experiences called me. Before I had kids, during that time, since then, all the way through. And what have I done? I have met each experience as fully as I can, as optimistically as I can. Sometimes I did it great right away. Sometimes I didn't. Sometimes I got stuck. I mean, there's been times when I look back and think, wow, I spent a lot of time stuck in that. And yet, it's not that anymore. And I moved and I evolved. And the magic that is what happened for me is that I kept track of it. I like approached it as if I was a spiritual explorer, and I kept the data and I took journal notes, and I have moved and moved and moved. And I watched my own progress, and I said what was working and what wasn't working. And I treated it like it was a game. So it wasn't like there was a right way to do it. I just love that the wind has come here to celebrate and dance with me. So I own it. I am the embodiment of blending. I am the embodiment of enlightenment and empowerment moving forth into this world. I accept that I chose from all that is, that call it source, call it God, chose to create me, and in that creation is delighted and so in love with me, like enraptured with me as its creation, as its expression, as it took an aspect of itself and laid it down, and that is what became me, wrapped up with my inner being to constantly remind me of that greatness, of that potential, of that infinite beingness and that unlimited possibility all the way around me. Just blows my mind. And then now I stand in a place of, as that little tiny shard of that godness, sourceness, consciousness, now I get to flow that out and create whatever it is that I want to create from that knowing that I have that limited potential, that unlimited potential, only limited by myself, by the limiting beliefs that I choose to bring to the foyer, which I don't have to do. And that's what I'm stepping into is, you know what? I don't have to believe any of that stuff. I don't have to believe any of the nonsense the mind wants to say. And guess what? Neither do you. Because equal to me, you are an infinite being of love and light. You are completely capable of following any dream that you want, of creating any possible thing that you want, if you're willing to stand in that space of doubtlessness. And when the doubt comes looking for you, because it will, because we've just had so much history, we have so much momentum. We have an entire delusory collective that believes and puts its consciousness, puts its belief bases in lack, in limitation. For some reason, much, much easier to argue and stand in your limitations for most people than to stand in their brilliance and their greatness. Time to change that. Time to change that. I invite you to get on board with me and create whatever it is you want to create and be whatever it is you want to be. And don't wait for someone outside of you to tell you you can do it. Don't look for cues from your environment, from your circumstances to say, yes, yes, yes. No, you say yes, yes, yes. And fuck the circumstances, because they don't decide for you. You decide for you. That's it. You decide. It's like, who am I? I decide who I am. I'm standing here saying I'm a spiritual teacher. I'm an intuitive. I know, like, I just know so deep in my being that I am an intuitive, that is part of the blueprint that I came in to just do that, to intuitively know the flow of my being, to intuitively step out of my own way and let that flow come, and to be able to tell the difference in those messages, and be able to just like meet another aspect of myself, another being here walking on this planet, and just know what is going to come through, and just let it flow and trust in that flowing, to follow that intuition. And we all have it. I think some of us maybe have pre-programmed it slightly better as we stepped into this incarnation, but it's something we can all develop when we choose to. I know that I am a spiritual coach. I know that when someone wants to, especially when someone wants to like really move themselves, really move themselves, like empty, wants to hear it, wants to have those reflections, is ready to take it, if they get triggered, is willing to own it and do the work, then I am definitely the person for you, because I have that detachedness and I can see the truth of who you are. I know I stand in seeing your brilliance. And I'm not going to put up with any of your nonsense that you think that you can't do this, that you think that you're unlimited. But you know what? You got to show up and want to play. You have to show up and want to do it fully. If you're just going to contract or retreat the first little time that something says you can't do it, then the time is not right. And that's perfectly beautiful too. That's perfectly fine, because the time will come for you. So I just stand in that. I just want to say that my time is now. I know it. I stepped into this program. It is just, I felt into it, and I just knew that it was the next logical step. That's just what it feels like. It was a significant investment, more than I've ever paid for something like this. And yet there's just this ease of it. There's like just this trust that more and more than that investment is going to come back, that this is like the greatest thing that I could do to move this forward in myself, even though there's so many parts of this that I don't really have a clue what I'm doing. I mean, even in terms of like, I know what I'm doing in a bigger sense of a vision, but I don't know how all of the tiny little pieces are going to come together. And I just allow those little blips to show up. I put an intention out of something. Like I put an intention out to say, you know, what is it that people that I want to work with, what is it that they're looking for? What are they asking for? What kinds of questions do they have? What kinds of, how do they want to expand? How do they want to grow? What would serve them? How can I best meet them? And if you have any ideas and want to share those, I'd be happy. That would be wonderful. We could set up a conversation, or you could put them in the comments. I mean, I'd love to know that. But then I show up on social media today and find out that a teacher that I really highly respect has posted that very question to the community, and they have all answered the question. So I got to see all the answers of my ideal clients and what they're doing. That's how the power of the universe works, when you trust it, when you flow with it, when you just allow it. And so anyway, this is my little happy dance, because I decided right this minute to step into my greatness, to show my daughters that when you have a dream, you just go get it. You don't wait for someone to tell you it's time to get your dream. You don't wait for circumstances to line up. No, because I'm an epic being of love and light, because of the law of attraction, because I understand that the universe is beautiful by design, and that I am the creator of everything. Like I literally am the creator of it all. That's it. That's it. And that's what I'm going to do. And so I invite you to participate in whatever way you want. Watch the journey, jump into the journey, start your own journey, amplify your own journey, whatever feels best to you. I am here for you. I see your radiance shining. Let's take the world by storm. Let's show everybody what it means to create. Let's show everybody what it means to, from a soul space, not from like, I want a bunch of stuff because I think the stuff's going to make me happy. No, we're beyond that. We know the stuff isn't going to make us happy. We know the emptiness that lives there. We want to feel the fullness of us expressed out loud in whatever way that looks, in whatever shape it takes. Beautiful. I love you all. I'm going to go bliss out and vibe up some more. I will see you tomorrow.